Sweet Lord, we're back.
Oh, it's nice to see signs of life from you.
Hey, it's nice to be outside. Sooner or later we'll get into why I vanish occasionally. I just have to figure out how to do it without ending up back there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, it would be kind of fun to do a live from the county, but I mean, we've broadcasted to weirder places, done stranger things.
I don't know. I've seen some pretty weird shit, but there's, yeah. Anyway, I've got my gallon of coffee down. I actually have acquired a coffee mug that I can put an entire 10-cup coffee pot in.
Jesus, really?
Well, since I, as a parent with my visits to the place we were just talking about, I don't do anything in moderation very well at all. So,
I mean, can you use it to make soup or make
I could probably live in this thing if I had to.
Oh, yeah. I mean, can you keep small toiletries in there?
This is the kind of thing a trucker would have, if he had to pee, too.
Oh, Lord. Trucker Bob!
Hey, you know what? We should ask if Trucker Bob would do some horoscopes for us.
He's got a weird schedule now. He works overnight, so it's just hard to kind of catch him at the right time. Although, if you catch him when he's been up for 16 hours straight, he does start saying weird things. His filter is completely gone.
Well, he wasn't necessarily a real normal guy to begin with. I think he was...
So true.
Fun Trucker Bob stories. I think he was actually there in the dorm at TC when one of our friends drank 6 bottles of Robitussin.
Oh, yuck.
And Trucker Bob was in charge of making sure that this guy, his name was Aaron, actually stayed alive. Because that much Robitussin puts you into a state. This was back when you could buy the good stuff.
Yeah.
He pretty much just laid on the floor in our dorm for, it was 3 straight days and stared at the ceiling.
So it's a self-induced coma?
Yeah, and Trucker Bob just had to make sure that he was still alive.
Hold a mirror over his mouth or something like that?
Yeah, but I think Trucker Bob works at a hotel now.
Yes, he does.
So he might have some good stories. I mean, he's got stories from the road for sure, but might have some good stories about things that he's seen. I mean, hell, I worked in a hotel. I've delivered to hotels before, and I never got to see the naked woman pizza guy scenario. It was always naked dude.
He's actually has a recent dead hooker story.
Oh. Yeah, there was a corpse in his hotel, and for him, the amazing part, just to kind of make this brief, is somehow the story never made it to the local papers. Oh.
And he's always been kind of mystified because, granted, the guy that owns the hotel owns multiple hotels in the area, and apparently has some sway over local media, so he can keep stuff like that quiet.
I wonder if we could get that hotel to sponsor us.
Oh, God, I doubt it.
I'm still working on a hot sauce company, though, for us.
Good.
There's a tie-in to my disappearance, the fact that I didn't shit for 9 days, and how their hot sauce helped me that we're going to have to dig into.
It's always nice to hear stories of hope and movement.
But they're genuine Louisiana hot sauce people, so I think that could add some culture to our show.
Yeah. Oh, the other Trucker Bob thing I was going to throw in is years before he would MC roller derby events. And so he's always had interesting roller derby girl stories. Just the background, personalities, the wear and tear. Because, I mean, you don't do roller derby for an extended period of time. Because them ladies don't play nice. They got rules, but they play rough.
I imagine you get into it to get out of it.
Yeah, a lot of them have a lot of hostility to burn off, I think. And yeah, if you've ever been in seen a knuckle to knuckle girl fight, it's brutal.
Every weekend downtown.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, it's
the thing with girl fights is they don't give up ever.
No, it's not until one of them's dead or they're pulled apart and drug away.
Two guys eventually will beat the shit out of each other and buy each other beers, but girls would have to be separated downtown and walked out separate doors.
Enemies for life.
Yeah, there was, usually hair flying, and I mean like chunks of hair, not just hair whipping around. Like, and once you saw like shoes come off, that's when you knew it was real.
Shoes come off?
Yep. Yeah, I saw a couple of different times where you'd see girls beating each other up with their high heels.
I just say, were the shoes as weapons, or are they just really expensive and don't want to wreck them?
No, it was when the purse got handed off that was the one where I assume the money came into play.
Of course, these days women don't carry purses. They everything. They get the little folder thingy with their phone. They can tuck all their cards in.
It's either that or they find a guy that will carry their shit. And here's another tangent I'm going to go off into. Don't make fun of my fucking cargo shorts, because you don't have pockets and you need one. I've got one. But make fun of my cargo shorts and you're on your own.
Oh, God, yeah. With my job, over the years, like with the last job, I had two phones because I had my work phone and I had my personal burner. Then I had keys, then I had wine openers, I had all kinds of shit in my pockets.
Maybe we should do an episode, or we should do a game show about what's in Todd's pockets.
Oh, God. Despair.
Hopefully birth control.
Oh, why? Why bother?
That's true. I've pretty much given up. When the last condoms that I had expired, I thought, okay, I'm never going to need these again.
Unless you're planning on doing some experimental stuff around the house.
Water balloons. We used to fill them up with lotion and throw them at people.
Say if you get, saran wrap and condoms and some kind of extra virgin olive oil, and then you lay it out so the couch cushions don't start a friction burn. That could be some interesting, work around the house.
Why do we even come up with topics when we go off on these?
I know. What were we supposed to be talking about in this one?
We were going to talk about shitty music that we had to endure.
Oh, God.
And here's a fun fact. It's a rule about working in radio that you can make fun of the artist all you want, but make fun of the song and you're in trouble, because the song is a product. The song is what you're selling. The artist, we don't give a shit about you at all. Like, I could, make fun of somebody like Post Malone right now all day long on the air, and how he just, I don't even know what to say about that guy, but he doesn't seem to take himself too seriously. But for me, it was when Britney Spears went nuts, or when we did Panty Watch with Christina Aguilera's underwear being on auction on eBay. We could make fun of that all day long, but the shitty music, is there any really god awful songs that stand out to you that we had to endure?
Oh, God, any duet involving Ja Rule?
Oh, yeah.
Because for a while everybody was doing duets. They get a hardcore rapper, and I got big air quotes going here, and then some young ingenue, and they craft some sort of top 10 hit for them. And you always kind of get the feeling these two probably couldn't stand each other, or one of them is gay, or Ja Rule. Everybody always busted on him because he was supposed to be this hardcore street guy, and he was not.
Not in the least.
And so, yeah, it's just all of his stuff is just kind of ridiculous. I won't even go off on that fire festival thing.
I'm trying to think
there's enough documentaries on that.
Yeah, I don't know if he's doing time right now or not, but he probably deserves it.
No, I think he was just peripheral enough where he didn't catch the shit for it. It was the other guy. But anyways, back to music.
Fortunately, like when I started there, we were kind of at the end of the boy band thing.
Oh, God, mercifully, yes.
Yeah, so we didn't really have to deal. We're talking early 2000s here.
Yeah, because I barely played any NSYNC, didn't play any Backstreet Boys, but that's right when Timberlake started to come out with his solo stuff.
Timberlake's, panty dropping solo stuff.
Yeah, his first couple albums were solid. I mean, bringing Sexy back, that was insane. I had no idea because I moved off of top 40 radio at that point. I was doing classic rock. I had no idea that was Timberlake. It didn't even sound like him. And then somebody's like, yeah, it's Justin Timberlake brings Sexy back. I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, so we got through the boy band stuff. And when we were on the radio at the time, they wouldn't play any hardcore rap during the day. It was only after 6 or 7 at night.
6 when I came on. Yeah, so that's when we got the majority of our complaints.
Because I don't think we started playing 50 Cent in the club until during the day. Actually, no, I think we could do it on the weekends during the day. But 9 to 5 or 6 a.m. to 5 or 6 p.m. or whatever, we couldn't play it because it was just a bit too much for the community.
Or Little John. To this day, if it hadn't been for Dave Chappelle, I don't know.
Little Wayne.
Yeah, and I don't know that anybody would know what skeet, skeet, skeet meant.
Oh, God, no. Oh, my God. That was hilarious.
But, I'm trying to think of... Well, the first song that I remember I just absolutely couldn't stand that I had to play there was... You remember Tattoo?
Oh, that Russian duo. They're supposed to be lesbians or something.
Yeah, and here's the thing. People complain about listening to a top 40 station and hearing the same song all the time. We don't program. And as a person that was a music director at one point, we don't program for people that are listening all day. Sorry if you're listening at work, but guess what? The amount of time that we program for is about 30 minutes because that's average commute for people, and we program for people listening in their cars. You had to hear Tattoo and it was called All the Things She Said, 40 times a day. Well, Top 40 radio is basically, we're going to play about 40 of the most popular songs, and that's it.
I know. I always had an issue with that with our market because in big markets, you've got multiple stations all doing the same format or damn close. But in the market we worked, there was no other top 40 station. There was another one, but they got run out of business and went to adult contemporary.
Yep.
I mean, country, yeah, there was lots of country stations, and they were all going head to head. But I was I've never understood, because I remember back in the old days with the Buzz, the one program director that came on there, she was playing Sugar Ray every 90 minutes. I wanted to puke. And I'm like, why are you programming the station like that? Because this station is the people that listen to this station don't channel hop. This is the only station playing any of this kind of music.
Yeah, and around that time there was stuff like Beck, who was really, the Odelay album was huge, and there was stuff like that could have been getting way more played than fucking Every Morning by Sugar Ray.
Oh, God. But I still think she was getting kickbacks from the consultant, getting free trips and shit like that. I mean, what the hell is pay to play stuff? It was still kind of being done, but just not direct ways like it was back in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, it was it's way more under the table now.
Well, everything was funneled through the consultants.
And it's it doesn't really exist anymore, except for the fact that there's, spins on Spotify and things like that. I was actually watching a documentary about these farms where people take a couple hundred cell phones and they'll just keep playing a song over and over and over and over and over to get their spins up. That some guy will come in and say, "Hey, I've got a song. Here's $10,000. Start playing it."
Jesus.
Yeah. Well,
Whenever you develop a system, somebody will figure out some way to fudge it.
modern problems require modern solutions.
So true. So true. Oh, so anyways, back to shitty songs. I remember there was a shitty song I wanted to play, and the program director wouldn't let us do it. It was that goofy ass song, thing called Love.
Oh,
it was like this guy. It was kind of like a heavy metal spoof, and the video was ridiculous. But this guy had a real high pitched voice.
Yeah.
And I kept get the program director to add it because, I mean, it was huge. It was on MTV. It was on heavy metal. She's like, no, we can't add this. It's ridiculous. I'm like, we still rotate Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby's Got Back, and you're going to tell me we can't add this dumbass song for a little bit?
Oh, it was by The Darkness.
Darkness, there you go.
Which is the funny thing about it, because that kind of a name, you assume it's going to be some kind of a real heavy band. But it was a guy wearing hot pants. And I think were they from Iceland? Or Sweden?
Something like, I think they were European, yeah.
Oh, God.
But, God, it was... I mean, I knew it was a turd, and it had a short shelf life, but it was still just kind of fun.
I just wanted to be able to crack the mic and scream the really high-pitched part.
Yep. Although, I remember there's 2 songs that we added. I remember driving into work and like, oh my God, these are awesome. Not to get any further off from the topic of this, what we're supposed to be doing. But Evanescence, that came out, that one just blew my mind because that singer had such pipes. Because most of the singers in Top 40 radio didn't have real pipes except for like Christina Aguilera.
There's a lot of like whisper singing.
Yeah, pretty much. And then what was the other one? Oh, Hey Ya by Outkast. I still remember driving into work and you were on the air and I'm like, dude, what was that? That was fucking amazing. That was awesome. It was like, dude, it's new Outkast. And I'm like, Hey Ya was just magical.
Well, and that's a group I'd been listening to since high school that came out with a lot of, I mean, after living in Atlanta too, you have even more respect for them, but a lot of really experimental rap, and they're definitely the ones that kind of made the South big, you know, because otherwise up until then it was just East Coast, West Coast, and nobody else paid attention to what else was going on.
I was reading some article where Andre 3000 was just kind of lamenting the fact that nobody in hip-hop is actually pushing boundaries anymore.
Not really. It all sounds exactly the same to me anyway.
There was a video years ago that Snoop Dogg was listening to a bunch of contemporary rappers, like that Tekashi 6ix9ine guy, and he's like, everybody has the exact same flow. Like, you know, no one's breaking up anything rhythmically. Like Ludacris, I always loved Ludacris. Like his delivery,
definitely.
And you know, just how he would break up stuff in the rhythm of it. But like all these new kids, it's all just the same shit.
The funny thing
actually reminds me of
about that Outkast song actually is the fact that it sounds really upbeat and happy and everything, but it's not a happy song at all. It's about him and Andre 3000 and Erykah Badu getting divorced. Like, it's really not a good, fun, happy song at all.
Which one is that, Ms. Jackson?
No, that was Hey Ya was all about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I just kind of focus on the Beyonce's and the Lucy-Loos.
No, there's other really dark songs too, like Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind. That song is actually all about doing meth.
Oh, Jesus.
And that was before the meth explosion that we had today.
Yeah. Hey, are you getting a countdown on your screen?
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to be cut off in like 6 minutes. But
that's okay. We've completely deviated from any planned topic that we've had. So
I'm still trying to think of like what I would nominate for the shittiest song. Oh, Ashley Simpson.
Oh my God. I still think about her tanking on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
that was painful to watch. That was, if you're talking about cringeworthy, that's like the poster child right there.
Yeah, that was pretty awful. Like, well, Ashley Simpson and Jessica Simpson were just, I don't know what people were thinking. Other than the fact that apparently decent looks sell.
Well, like Jessica Simpson, oh my God. I still remember that cover of Rolling Stone where her and her husband at the time, Nick Lachey, had that TV show, and she was getting a lot of positive press for confusing Chicken of the Sea. And anyways, there's basically her in like a wife beater and a pair of panties vacuuming, and that one went in the Spank Bank Rolodex. That was phenomenal. Then you listen to her talk, and it pretty much just like. Oh.
What's funny is as soon as you started talking about that, for those of you that can hear it, because I was too stupid to silence my phone, that sound in the background is actually my alert sound, which is Herbert the pervert going, yes.
Nice.
Yeah, so as soon as Todd starts talking about the Spank Bank, that thing goes off. Anyway, I think maybe this one, we're going to go ahead and just wrap this one up right now.
Yeah.
We're completely off the rails.
We're always better in small doses anyways.
Yeah. Maybe I'll try and attach the shittiest song I can think of to this at the end, and hopefully we don't get sued.
Yeah, I say just don't get us sued.